Hello and welcome to Dr. Skeletal Medical Channel. Here we discuss about various medical issues. The topic for today's discussion is sickle cell anemia. The normal shape of red blood cell is biconcave. It has a lot of mechanical and physiological advantages. But in this case, the shape of the red blood cell is semilunar or crescent or sickle shape. Hence the name sickle cell anemia. Geographically speaking, there are around 4.4 million people with sickle cell anemia globally, and around 43 million are carrier. 80% of people with sickle cell anemia lies in Central Africa and rest are in India and Southeast Asia. Now, what are the symptoms of sickle cell anemia? General symptoms of anemia like fatigue, weakness, shortness of breath, episode of pain and acute chest pain, also referred as sickle cell crisis. It lasts from few minutes to several weeks. Pain medication really helps here. Pulmonary hypertension and swelling of hands and feet, vision problem even leading to blindness, frequent infection as spleen will be busy on taking care of destroyed red blood cell, delayed growth and onset of puberty, problem with vital organs like spleen and liver in long run. Now, what are the causes of sickle cell anemia? Sickle cell anemia is autosomal recessive disorder. To be a recessive disorder, both the copies of gene should be mutated. Now, it is single point mutation, non-conservative mutation, missense mutation. Now, what does non-conservative mutation means? The new amino acid have different properties compared with the previous amino acid that was supposed to be there. We have hemoglobin, oxygen carrying protein of our red blood cell. Here we can see adult hemoglobin, HbA. It has 2 alpha and 2 beta chain connected by a heme group, that's iron molecule. The mutation lies with the beta chain of hemoglobin. If we see in more detail, then we realize that mutation lies on the 6th amino acid position of beta chain. Here glutamic acid is replaced by valine. Valine is a hydrophobic, hydro water, phobic fear, a repel. And glutamic acid in other hand, it's a hydrophilic, hydro water again, and philic means like or attract. Since a hydrophobic amino acid replaces the hydrophilic amino acid, it changes a lot of character, hence giving the name non-conservative mutation. If both the beta genes are unaffected, it's a healthy being. Healthy being is a happy being. But if both the copies of beta genes are affected or mutated in the same 6th position, then it's called hemoglobin S, sickle cell hemoglobin. But in the case of one affected or mutated and another healthy beta gene, it's called a carrier, also known as sickle triad. They do not show any symptoms unless they are exposed to severe situation like high altitude where the oxygen saturation is low leading to hypoxia, severe dehydration, physical and emotional stress, even pregnancy. Sickle hemoglobin, it itself has a very low oxygen affinity, but there is no problem during oxygenation. The real problem starts once it's deoxygenated, because after that it starts to form a polymer of itself. Now, after forming a polymer, it changes its shape, and what we know as sickle shape or the crescent or the semilunar shape, and the process is called sickling. This is what we know as sickle hemoglobin, also known as HbS. Now, condition favoring sickling. First, acidosis. It decreases the hemoglobin affinity to oxygen. Now, low flow vessel, where hemoglobin has the wall of time to dump a lot of oxygen. Extreme temperature of both, like even if there's high temperature or even if the low temperature, both gonna affect. And fluctuation. For example, if today is sunny and tomorrow all of a sudden it starts to rain, it's gonna affect a lot. Hypoxia, yeah. Whenever there is a low oxygen concentration or saturation, it indeed gonna affect. Dehydration, alcohol intoxication, even pregnancy. Factors inhibiting sickling. Here we have HbA, adult hemoglobin. It has one healthy HbA gene, whereas we have one HbS1 mutated gene. Somehow HbA tends to suppress the action of HbS. It explains why a carrier doesn't show any symptoms under normal circumstances. The other factor being HbF or the fetus hemoglobin. Instead of 2 alpha and 2 beta chain, here we have 2 alpha and 2 gamma chain. So mutation in beta chain really doesn't bother. That is why infant doesn't seem to be affected till the age of 5 to 6 months. After 5 to 6 months, the production of adult hemoglobin starts, while it decreases the production of gamma chain. That is why it starts to show some symptoms of hemoglobin S, or the sickle cell hemoglobin. Repeated sickling. How exactly does the repeated sickling leads to anemia? The cell membrane gets weak just after few sickling, and we know that the mature red blood cell lacks organelles like ribosome to form new protein. So just after few wear and tear, the sickle red blood cell gets its fate of premature destruction. The average lifespan of sickle red blood cell is 10 to 20 days. Since all this happens inside a blood vessel, it's called intravascular hemolysis. This leads to anemia. After intravascular hemolysis, there will be abundant amount of free hemoglobin. They bind to the protein called heptoglobin for recycling purposes. After that, it yields a tremendous amount of unconjugated bilirubin, a toxic hydrophobic waste product. In high concentration can lead to a lot of medical complications like bilirubin-induced neurotoxicity, like jaundice, even gallstone. Now, in our circulation, if we see low heptoglobin concentration, it reveals that we are suffering from intravascular hemolysis. It also has an evolutionary advantage. People who are suffering from sickle cell anemia tends to have very good resistance against Plasmodium falciparum malari. Why is that? Because for this parasite to complete its life cycle, it must pass through red blood cell. Since our red blood cell is already fragile, it cannot complete the required step. That is why it's destroyed. Treatment. Treatment includes bone marrow transplantation from an eligible donor, usually a close relatives. But believe me, it's a very complex procedure. Yet we have a lot of therapy and procedure that helps us to betterment our life. For example, vaccination and prophylactic antibiotic to fight and suppress the infection. And we have pain medication during crisis. And we have hydroxyurea. It promotes the production of fetus hemoglobin. And we have periodic blood transfusion. But during this periodic blood transfusion, to compensate the anemia, we have to take care of one thing, that is not to overload the iron. And we have gene therapy, as it's a point mutation. Thank you. If you find this our content useful, do consider to like, share and subscribe to our Dr. Skeleton Medical channel.